And hello everyone again. I apologize for the I had a power outage. I know this is not going to be seen by a lot of people, but oh well. We are live, so at least that's a good thing. Hello, Archaeology and Paul Hoban. I had a power outage. The power just came back on. It is not raining, just a little bit of fog. It's been hot all day. It's Portugal, man. I live in the shittiest country on earth, and for that I am grateful, of course, but convenience says everyone. So I'll just keep on going where I was left off. I talked about that Neanderthals had jewelry, and the jewelry that they fashioned were from shells and claws and teeth, etc. Now I'm going to go on to slightly more specific, which is actual art that is left on for example, art impressions that are left on cave walls, etc. And they come from Gibraltar specifically. I will share again. I apologize for this delay. God, sometimes I hate my country, but fuck it. I live in a fourth world country, so I can't really complain. Anyway, so Kianami, how I made Paul Hoban and John W. Muse. Thanks for coming on, guys, again. So let's show the Neanderthal artwork found in Gibraltar. The Gibraltar cave is the Gorham's cave. It's a shelter, a rock shelter that, let's see if there's a picture of, here is a picture of it. It lies now close to the coast, but when the Neanderthals were living then, this would have been further, would have been inland, wouldn't it not be so close to the sea, the coast, because 20, 30,000, 40, 50,000 years ago, the sea level was much, much lower than it is today due to the ice sheets in the northern hemisphere, America, and the Eurasian continent. So this cave system would have been about 100 meters above sea level, around about that. Even this article says that the candidates for Neanderthal cave art exist, including motifs from caves in northern and southern Spain. It's not new. Neanderthals were producing what we now call art, and not just art, but symbolic, abstract depictions of their reality. Something that, like I said in the first video, something that was attributed up until these discoveries to exclusively to Homo Sapiens Sapiens. And what did they find here in this cave? They found etchings, patterns that were scratched in. We don't know what they mean, what the meanings of them are. And you can see the video has no sound, which is good. I'll play it, and you can see. I think you can see this video. I'll make it even better. There we go. If it starts off. Not gonna start. Fuck it. I have shit internet connection as well, so I apologize. God damn it. Yes, they're etchings, but scratchings, etchings, motifs, reliefs. You can call them any, but basically there are representations of what the person that made those symbolic depictions Yeah. So from the caves there, the Dolomites is a very hard rock, so they required a lot of efforts to produce the lines. These lines. So this is not this really really needed effort, and not like the limestone caves you find in other places. This is just an example of cave art that was once attributed to exclusively to Homo Sapiens Sapiens. Now we have Neanderthals, but it's not just that. Another article from Nature. Again, this is the Neanderthal, the same place from Gibraltar. Let's see if this one works. The other one didn't work very well. It doesn't have sound, but you can see the Gorham cave engravings. Is it working? Let's see if we can... Come on. Never mind. Today it's just bloody fucking bad. I really... Oh, God damn it. From the floor, they're geometric shapes. There's no sound, guys, so don't worry about it. Hope you're liking this. I'm enjoying myself watching this as well. So this is a three-dimensional spectrum imagery and etc. So yeah, this is art, Neanderthal art in the Gorham Cave in Gibraltar. So the archaeologists uncovered the engravings in the Gorham Cave site overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. The team led by zoologist Clive Finlayson, the director of the Gibraltar Museum. He has excavated the cave since the 1980s. And they found that Neanderthals who called their cave home, they ate fish, shellfish, birds, and perhaps survived later than their counterparts elsewhere in Europe. Yes, they did, because there's evidence in the Iberian Peninsula that they were the last refuge of the Neanderthals. There are sites, Neanderthal sites. Gorham is one of them. La Peda in Portugal is another one, and there's another one in Portugal that also dates to this period, showing that the Neanderthals lived at least until 35,000 years ago, more or less. So yes. The article says an age-old question. Is it art? Yes, it is. He says I don't know, but it is. It's art by every measure, every metric you can analyze it with. This is my interpretation, by the way. I'm only a Bachelor of Arts archaeologist. I don't have a doctorate or a master's degree, but I know how to analyze data. Carlos, David, yes, I had my area had a blackout. That Portugal sold our national grid to the Chinese. I won't elaborate on it anymore. You guys can see the results. So that's what happened, Carlos. Sorry about that, mate. I continue. I'm a battler. I don't stop for even this bullshit. But if I ever win Euro Millions, I'm gonna fucking make my house auto-sufficient in power, so I won't need to connect to the national grid. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of countries are selling their countries to the Chinese economy. Yeah, they're fucking cunts. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the article. I'm digressing. Alistair Pike, an archaeologist from the University of Southampton, UK, said the engravings, if made by Neanderthals, represent a very important find. It adds permanent rock engravings to the sparse but significant evidence that Neanderthal symbolic behavior. Ochre pigment. I talked about ochre pigment yesterday. If everyone can just refer to my videos from yesterday. Shell beads and other adornments have been used to back up the idea that Neanderthals possessed the sort of symbolic cognitive powers that underlie language and religion. I will cover, or I will try to elaborate on the Neanderthal belief system in future videos. As soon I'm trying to get some more evidence. I have a few articles, but I want to get some more meatier ones. And as I said, I'm surprised by new data every day. I as an archaeologist and archaeonomy as well, if he keeps up with the current, he's probably in a better position than I am because he lives in a city. I live in a fucking I live in a fucking wilderness. He and I, we are living in a golden age of archaeology. I am blown away from current things that are happening. So, God, I love my profession, and I'm overwhelmed sometimes. So it doesn't matter. Your pissant little cunt, your little town is more connected than I am. I am in a village in the middle of fucking nowhere, man. But I don't complain. I only complain when our fucking light goes out. Worshipped and who the fuck's Anunnaki? I don't know, but yeah, sure, why not? Anyway, let's get on to another article from New Scientists. This one's interesting. This one's a Neanderthal artist revealed in a very finely carved raven bone. Now, this image that you guys are going to see right now, I will amplify it so it's better viewed. The picture that you guys are seeing on now is called experimental archaeologist. An archaeologist gets a flint. Oh God, I wish I could get a 5 or 6 nodules, about kilogram size nodules of flint, so I can make blades and that. But he's using a flint to engrave some notches into a, in this case, it would be an equivalent to the raven bone. He's scratching them, and you can see on the side the actual scratchings of the actual bone from Sangwon. Okay, a bone that from raven wings with several 7 different spaced notches carved into the strongest evidence yet that the Neanderthals had an eye for aesthetics. So I have here an article. By the way, I apologize for not including the actual studies, but I like to keep you guys to do some work, because as I'm not a teacher, but I like to think that I can instill in you guys some inspiration that you guys can further investigate. So I've set these articles up. When I do provide the actual study, I'm doing the work for you, and it's fine. It's fine. I love that part, but in Neanderthal, when I don't do it, you can easily find them. Just do a Google search on the title and look for PLOS. PLOS is an actual peer-reviewed magazine which publish studies, and they are very good in their field. There's Nature, but Nature sometimes is behind a paywall, or mostly behind a paywall. But with a little bit of searching, you can find the actual studies. They are the ones which you can download as a PDF file. and complete. So for free. So you guys can have a little gander and so on. Yeah. Let's get back to the Neanderthals. There's evidence that Neanderthals use pigments. Yes, ochre. I said that yesterday. Ochre is one of the natural pigments. You can also get other natural pigments from organic material like leaves and shells, even, and from other even. Blood is a natural pigment. I don't mean human blood or I mean animal blood. You can use that as a pigment source. So yes, they use pigment. They buried objects alongside the dead. That's easy. They collected bird feathers. Oh, you guys should see this. This is new to me. I didn't know that. Let's have a look at it. God damn it. Let's have a look at this. This is new. The Neanderthal used feathers for fashion. Italy has ruled. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Portuguese fashion is better than this. So I'm bringing my. That list is a claim from archaeology say that the evidence of Neanderthals using feathers as ornaments 44,000 years ago. The tenuous claim adds fuel to the debate. That there's no debate on whether Neanderthals and Homo Sapiens Neanderthals used art and so. There's no debate. It's proven so. This Michael Marshall's oh God, no, he just wants to be sensationalist. Now, what has he found? The data. Marco Perosani, the University of Ferrara in Italy, found 660 bird bones mixed in with Neanderthal bones in Fumani Cave in northern Italy. Many of the wing bones were cut and scraped where the flight feathers were once attached. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of interpretation. So it doesn't say what type of birds. So let us assume that just I don't know, northern Italy. Okay, grouse, pigeons. Let's see what other birds are native to Europe. Starlings, blackbirds, doves and pigeons. They are all edible birds. I just mentioned the edible birds. Now, if they removed the feathers in a certain way, they would have been used for food. Now, of course, they would have probably used the feathers for anything. If anyone has ever plucked a chicken, that's what they basically are suggesting, that they scraped the flight feathers from the wing bones. They were cut. Think of chickens, by the way, guys. So that's my interpretation. Now he goes, just like shells from Neanderthals were worn as jewelry. Persani thinks that the feathers may have been used as ornaments. Sure, absolutely. Of course so, they would have. The more colourful the feathers, the better, the more elaborate the ornaments, the there was no hierarchy, by the way, in this period. It was just aesthetics, basically. These ornaments were not used to distinguish between the tribe. I've said this before. I think I've said it at the start of the first part of this stream that the Neanderthals, they were in a extended family tribal society, so they would have mostly related each to each other, and so if any of the feathers were used, they were used as ornament to brighten up their fucking clothing or their stuff and so on. Yeah, crows even. Sure, black feathers are nice if you mix them up with the browns and the reds of browns of the doves and reds of, say, the partridges and so on. Yeah. And he dismisses, let's say, Persani thinks that the feathers were used the norm. He dismisses other explanations on the ground that many of the species are poor food sources. He didn't say what species were the birds were, though. So this article is very poorly written. And it's from New Scientist, guys. Don't trust all time. Oh, but it does have the actual journal. See, guys? See what I mean? I provide clips and I provide links to the things that you guys should read. But let's say species or fletched arrows may not have been invented at the time. Yes, the fletched arrows are about 20 to 20,000 years ago. So it was exclusively Homo sapiens. That can be completely that. João Zilão, this guy, he's a Portuguese archaeologist. He's sort of a bit of my hero, by the way. I admire this guy. He found the Lapeta child, the hybrid Neanderthal Homo Sapiens Sapiens in central Portugal, 28,000 years ago. So, yeah, and he works in Barcelona, and there's more evidence that Neanderthals were as cultured as Homo Sapiens Sapiens. So yes, I'm gonna download this. Just download this article, the actual study, as you guys should if you want to read. See, that's the study. I've shown you guys the abstract. Oh shit! It's behind the paywall. Full text. Let's see. Let's have a look. I'm doing your work for you guys. If I can see the full text. Yes, we have the full text. Download this shit. It's not shit, it's fucking, whoa, PDF. And I have a semi-fast internet, and there we go. I've just downloaded. Let's see how easy it is. I've given you sort of how to download stuff. See, just watch what I did. Clicked on it. See, download, save. And then I have the article, the actual study. You guys should do the same. Now, the last article, which I'm going to talk about, Neanderthals didn't just draw on caves or in grills, made jewelry and such. They also modified their spatial living area, and this article from the Atlantic. It's a shocking find in the Neanderthals. So, a rock structure built deep underground is one of the earliest hominin structures ever found. You guys can see it. You see the man there, the person, the archaeologist, light, and you can see all the structures around him. This is purposely built, delineating of an area inside a cave. I'm trying to see if there's any rock art in the background, but there does not seem to be any from this picture. I'm not saying that there is not in other areas, but in this picture there is not. So in 1990, a 15-year-old kid named Bruno Kowalski. Oh God, I'm Bruno. Let's call him Bruno. This time I'm absolutely. Kowalski. I got it. Kowalski. It's easy. If you know how to pronounce shit, you know how to pronounce shit. So it's Bruno Kowalski. He took a footsteps to go in the chamber of the Brunikiel cave for the first time in 10,000 years. 10,000 years. Yeah. The cave sits in France's scenic Aviron Valley. I don't know where that is. And it was sealed by an ancient rock slide. Kowalski Kowaljewski. You just have to put the Slavic Zhevsky into the pronunciation. Zhevsky. Now, any guys in the chat are Slavic? Am I pronouncing it right? Kowaljewski. Leave a comment in the comment section if I've pronounced it right, but I think I have. Father detected faint wisps of an air emerging from behind the scree, the area. The boy spent 3 years clearing away the rubble. He eventually dug out a tight 30-meter long passage so he can get in. The cave is 336 meters into the cave. There he found something extraordinary. So the cave is quite deep, and he found a chamber that was several stalagmites. The stalagmites are the ones that come from the top. The stalactites are the one. No, the stalactites are the ones from the top. The stalagmites are the ones from the bottom. I know that. They were deliberately broken to more than 400 pieces and arranged into 2 rings, as you can see there. So the stalactites on the top and the stalagmites on the bottom. Yeah, that's it. Stalactites on top, stalagmites on the bottom. You can take that to the bank and so on. Shit. Now, the larger one was between 4 and 7 meters across. The smaller one was 2 meters wide. Others have been propped against the sort of like donuts. They weren't natural formations, and they weren't the work of bears, because obviously bears. Yeah. No, there's no need to translate it. It's Kowaljewski, because I know that Koval, the W is a V, the SCH is J, the CH is J, and the whiskey at the back. But let's not dealt with. I still pronounce the names better than many of the Anglo-Saxons that try to pronounce names. I'm proud of my way to. Did I do it wrong, BJ Price? Stalactites top, stalagmites bottom. I think I said that. I'm slightly drunk, so you have to forgive me. But I know that the tights top, mites bottom. I think that's how I was taught. So they were the recognizing the site's value. Cave was brought in archaeologist Francois Rousseau. Okay, I exaggerated in the Rousseau, but you know what I mean. He carbon dated the organic material. He can't carbon date nothing that is not organic, and estimated that the burnt deer bones found within the chamber, were 47,600 years plus or minus whatever the era is, and which meant that the stalagmite rings, mites, the bottom parts, rings, were older than any known cave paintings. It also meant that they couldn't have been the work of Homo sapiens in that area. Yes, the builders must have been early humans in the South France at the time, Neanderthals, obviously. Rousseau, the discovery suggests that Neanderthals were more sophisticated than anyone. Of course, they are. Well, gladly, they are. We are beginning to. I'll answer that in a minute. Archaeology, the Sargon quote. They yielded fire. They ventured deep underground. They shaped the subterranean rock complex into construction that has not been known from Neanderthals, but this is new. And they carried out rituals. We know that because they buried their dead. Rituals were normal between Neanderthals. They also ritually cannibalized, especially in the Belgian area, not in Spain, in the Spanish area, cannibalism there was more, or found to be more during hard times, but in the northern parts of Europe, it was ritualistic cannibalism. I've talked about that in earlier streams, so have a look at those. And so Rizzo would never know. In April 1999, while guiding colleagues through a different cave, he suffered a final heart attack. And why did we need to know that? With his death, the work on Brunical Cave ceased, and its incredible content has been neglected. There is only now re-entry into the... Oh, good. So someone's beginning to... this archaeologist, I think, Sophie Verheiden, is bringing back the study of this awesome cave. So I think that's about it, guys. For persisting with me. God damn it. Yeah, no, let's get back to what I was going to say. You said Archaeology, to quote Sagan, fuck you, Poland. Well, I'm not saying that there's a Polish. It could be Czech. It could be Slovenian, Slovakian. So don't assume their nationality, Archaeology. Let's see. I mean, Czech language is even more cancerous. No, all guys, all languages are fucking awesome. I wish I could talk every language on earth. Honestly, I love language. I speak English is my first language. I speak Portuguese with a funny really fucking accent that people think I'm Spanish, but I'm not. No, it's a really weird language, auto-taught. And in that, I also speak Castilian, because Spanish is not a language. Castilian is the language, but also Galician, which is basically Portuguese with a Castilian type accent. I can speak enough French to get by at work. Italian the same. I'm learning to a little bit slowly German. I know a few words in Dutch. Very few words in Dutch. I know how to swear in Greek, Slavic, and so on. Finnish and the Basque are non-Indo-European language, by the way, Malefice. I have no fucking way will I ever learn those two languages, so I know shit. We shall end it here. Thank you guys for enduring my shit, and we will end it here. And I thank you all for coming on. So see you. You're not cancer, Malefice. You're awesome. You keep me on my toe. Everyone keeps me on my toe. So, guys, thank you, and see you. Maybe tomorrow. I'll have to talk. I was gonna do a stream tomorrow, but it'll clash with another one. So probably Thursday or Friday I will do the next stream. Tuesdays is always for Neanderthals, no matter what, and Mondays is my mainstream, and the other one that I do is a bonus for me, for you, for everyone. So good night all, and thank you for coming on.